Good morning, students. Myself, Dr. Balasubramaniam, working as assistant professor in the Department of Zoology, Government First Grade College, Chintamani. And today we discuss about the circulatory system in the case of the Unio. Now, this topic belongs to the second semester, and type study Unio, and we have the circulatory system in the case of the Unio. Now, this session particularly is a big topic and divided into two sessions. So today, or in this class, we discuss about the first session. Now, blood vascular system in the case of the Unio is well developed and is open type. It comprises heart and pericardium, arteries, sinuses and veins. So in this class, we discuss about the heart, pericardium, arteries and sinuses. In the next class or next session, we discuss about the veins and the course of the flow of the blood, particularly in the case of the Unio. Now here we observe a slide showing circulatory system in the case of the Unio. Now it is a rather so much complex type of circulatory system observed in the case of the Unio, where students find it's very difficult to follow. So there are a lot of things over there. Now just primarily discuss about the starting with the heart and the artery. So there is a one ventricle and two auricles surrounded by pericardium, and here we find the arteries. So this artery, anterior pallial artery, is anterior pallial artery. So I told two auricles and ventricle and pericardium and anterior pallial artery, and there is a posterior pallial artery. So there is a posterior pallial artery. So anterior pallial artery gives off to the many branches, and posterior pallial artery also gives rise to the many branches, and these are considered as arteries. And of course veins, what you observe in the grey color or black color, so these are the veins, and of course the blood goes to the gills and for the exchange of gases and this circulation basically in any organism meant for two reasons. One, to supply the nutrients to the organism, and second, to exchange the gases. So for the purpose of respiration and for the purpose of circulation of nutrients, so these two things are basically things are there. In addition to the so many functions like production, the circulation of antibodies, and in the what they call the circulatory system and the lymphatic system. So many things are there. But as far as this topic, circulatory system in the case of Unio is concerned, we primarily discuss about the circulatory system, where we conveniently divide it into the heart and surrounded by pericardium, one topically, ಎರಡನೇ ಟಾಪಿಕಲ್ ಆರ್ಟರೀಸು, ಮೂರನೇ ಟಾಪಿಕಲ್ಲಿ ವೇನ್ಸು, ನಾಲ್ಕನೇ ಟಾಪಿಕಲ್ಲಿ ಸೈನಸಸ್ಸು, and things where this blood moves and how this blood moves, and these topics we will discuss in this class. See, circulatory system in the case of the Unio. Now heart is highly contractile and three-chambered, consisting of a single ventricle and two lateral paired auricles. The two auricles lie one on either side of the ventricle and are transparent, thin-walled, roughly triangular and distensible. So this is the description of the auricles. So two auricles lie on either side of the ventricle, are transparent and thin-walled, roughly triangular and distensible. And extensible, expandable. Next, we'll discuss about the ventricle. A single median ventricle is large, thick-walled, and a muscular chamber wrapped around the rectum. It pumps the blood to the body. Now, the muscular heart beats 20 to 100 times per minute. So, when we are discussing about the general characters of the Unio, we discussed that these mollusks have or say advanced circulatory system and advanced respiratory system, as compared to the lower invertebrates, particularly with reference to the annelida and arthropoda. Now here we see circulatory system, heart, and we discuss about the heart, and now pericardium is a thin-walled triangular chamber enclosed the heart. The pericardium is lined by an epithelium and filled with the pericardial or coelomic fluid, represents a portion of the coelom which happens to be the eucoelomates. Now discuss about the arteries. See, arteries, the ventricle pumps the blood both forward and backwards through two main arteries known as anterior and posterior aorta respectively. ಇದನ್ನು ತುಂಬ ಒಂದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂಡರ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಆಂಟೀರಿಯರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪೋಸ್ಟಿಯರ್ ಅಯೋಟಾ. ಸೊ ಆರ್ಟರೀಸಲ್ಲಿ, ಸೊ ದರ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಂಟೀರಿಯರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪೋಸ್ಟಿಯರ್ ಅಯೋಟಾ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಟಾಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆಂಟೀರಿಯರ್ ಅಯೋಟಾ, ವಿಚ್ ಫರ್ದರ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ದಿ ಆಂಟೀರಿಯರ್ pallial artery, and this ventral aorta, posterior aorta, further it has several branches. So anterior and posterior aorta. See, the anterior aorta runs anteriorly dorsal to the intestine and divides into three main branches: anterior pallial artery, pedal artery, and visceral artery. Anterior pallial artery, it is supplying the oxygenated or say blood. So illi oxygenated deoxygenated blood varala, because this blood is almost mixed heart anta helbodu, because two auricles are there and one ventricle is there. So here anterior pallial artery and pedal artery and visceral artery, so these are the branches of the anterior aorta. So anterior pallial artery supplies the blood to the mantle. Pedal artery supplies the blood to the foot. Visceral artery supplies the blood to the different parts of the viscera. So this particularly visceral artery we see here, visceral artery. So there is a what we call this gastric artery, hepatic artery, intestinal artery, and genital artery. So these are the branches of visceral artery. Visceral artery though branches of gastric artery, hepatic artery, and intestinal artery, and genital artery. So these are the branches of visceral artery. Pedal artery, of course, this pedal artery, it supplies the blood to the foot. Pedal refer to the foot, and anterior pallial artery, it supplies the blood to the mantle. So this is a outermost mantle, what you observe here. The posterior aorta runs posteriorly ventral to the rectum and sends out fine branches to the pericardium and kidneys. So it sends it has the fine branches to the pericardium, that is the outermost core of the heart, and the kidneys, and a prominent rectal artery to the rectum and posterior pallial artery. So there are a lot of branches of the posterior aorta. One pericardium, second kidneys, third is the rectal artery to the rectum, and fourth is the pallial artery, that is the mantle. The arteries break up into the network of vessels all over the body. These vessels, instead of forming small capillaries, lead into the irregular cavities called blood sinuses. So here this is between the arteries and veins there is a blood sinuses. Blood sinuses refer to the open places of the blood. So summarily, so we discussed about the heart in this class: heart, pericardium, arteries, and sinuses. So freshwater mussel has an open type of circulatory system, since sinuses lack the epithelial lining of the true blood vessels, which the closed type of circulatory system has, and pour into the blood into the veins. So why it is called open type? Because there is no capillaries. So in the place of the capillaries there are sinuses. So these sinuses are the spaces which don't have the epithelial lining, which the true blood vessels possess. So therefore it is open type of circulatory system. The blood consists of colorless plasma containing respiratory pigment called hemocyanin, which is a copper-based respiratory pigment, and numerous white amoeboid cells are leukocytes. So this is how the course of the circulation. So we find the ventricle, and of course two auricles, one ventricle, and ventricle, see, it is a anterior aorta, that is anterior aorta hinge hogutte, matte posterior aorta, that is, so one it goes to the mantle, here also it goes to the mantle, and viscera, and pedal artery, and here the blood before going to the heart, so the blood goes to the kidney. So this is renal portal system. So references ಅಲ್ಲಿ, so this is invertebrates by Kotpal textbook, and invertebrates by Jordan Verma, and invertebrates by Kamana Dayar, invertebrates by Dame and invertebrates by Sen Prasad. So this is the first part of the circulation in the case of the Unio. Thank you for listening.